Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 Build a Nation story, Climbing with Cliftonville with me, Daniel. It's part 52 today and we're back for the League Cup final against our closest rivals, Larne, who have also coincidentally been busy in the transfer window. We'll take a look at that in a moment. We're potentially just one game away from wrapping up our fourth successive league title, and we're getting close to making this a successful end to the series before FM21. So hopefully 2 more episodes from this season, today's League Cup final, and then tomorrow the Irish Cup final as we celebrate, of course, the title. But we've still got 2 rounds to go in the Irish Cup, so we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We'll then have our 5 years later episode at the end of the week, and then we'll take a long weekend, or hopefully the beta will be out for FM21. So if you're looking forward to all of that, we had our plans video with all of our FM21 content, so you can catch up with that in the eye above. Put a thumbs up on this video if you're looking forward to the Cup final, and subscribe down below for daily Football Manager content. As the new game's coming round the corner, we'll have live streams and live videos almost every single day. So please do keep your eyes peeled for that, turn that notification bell on as we get to the off the field action here at Cliftonville before facing Larne. So if we have a look at things at the moment before we go into this cup final, Larne have finally become our closest challengers, something they should have done a long time ago. They've spent big again on a player in January, seems to be coming in ones rather than doing it across a sustained period, which is making it more difficult. But let's start with our own transfers. So no real additions in terms of players agreeing to stay or in terms of players coming in and out in the window, just one youngster going out on loan. But if we go to the squad, we have managed to extend another loan deal. That one for Luca Cannell, who will stay at the club next season. Just gives us a bit more quality again, so no complaints there. Ironically, Adam Idar has agreed to join someone else over in the MLS. He's not even one of our best strikers now. He's behind Falconer and Connor Crawford. So that's a pretty incredible achievement and shows just how far we've come. But of course, the main thing we look at in a transfer window now is not really our own club. It's more what's gone on across the window. Now, although we've talked about Larne spending, and that's a great thing, that's helping us out, that's giving a bit of competition moving forward, and they might do well in Europe. You can see the big signing on deadline day there. What has frustrated me is nothing really happening elsewhere. I mean, almost all of these are loans or frees to lower league clubs or clubs in the bottom half of this division. So, I mean, Shane McKellany, he started at Larne. He's an okay centre-half, but he's 33 now, and that's probably the pick of the bunch outside of Larne. That's how bad it is. However, Larne have been going big, so they went for Mark Sykes from Oxford, £350,000. Oxford were playing in the Championship. He scored 2 goals in that division and was a regular in their promotion from League One the year before. So he's a very good player, a clear step up in quality, and again the big wages that Larne offer out. A Northern Irish international, a good footballer, but is he worth 350 grand? I guess yes if you were playing in England, but here we're trying to be a little bit more clever. But it's a good signing, and it's a really good sign because they're signing players from England and they're managing to tempt them over from the 2nd and 3rd tier. That's a positive for the future, so we'll keep an eye on that in our 5-year review. And of course, we'll have to keep an eye on Mark Sykes today as well, as I presume he'll be in the lineup against us. So it is a couple of big signings now for Larne. They still managed to keep Robbie Hassan in the summer, who's one of their hot prospects. They've also obviously got in our player, Stephen Thompson, last summer. Had a long-term injury, but he's back now and he's just coming to fitness. So he's going to be an option off the bench probably today. And moving forward, I'd imagine a big goal scorer. They of course brought in Fanthorpe, who unfortunately broke his leg. He was a really good addition. Brad Lyons is doing okay for them, wants a new contract, but he was always complaining. Then the likes of Ben Hall and Stephen Welsh that they took of us previously. Ronan Hale, who went there in real life, and he's now there here as well. Good footballer up front. Robbie Hassan we've mentioned. Kofi Baumer, the Ballymena youngster in real life. One of the clubs that I might be managing in the FM21 live stream. That's up to you guys. But he's a good player as well. Maybe not quite developed to potential. But there's so many good footballers there, and you just think they've got to compete soon. If they can start filling out that squad a bit as well, I reckon it won't be too long. So I'll be interested to get your views on that. What you think's going to happen when we skip 5 years after tomorrow's episode? Is there going to be any light at the end of the tunnel? Is there going to be improvement across the country? Is it just going to be a fire sale from Cliftonville and then we move on? It's very hard to predict. But finally, before we go and get into this game, let's have a look at the schedule. We've had 5 games since that final against Ards yesterday, and we have done well in all of them. One dodgy game, particularly defensively, that against Dungannon, a 7-2 victory in that one. Nico Williams scored a hat-trick, including a belter in the opening 5 minutes. Doyle, Falconer, Wilson and Crawford with one each. Crawford making his way back off the bench from a small injury. I think it might have been food poisoning, actually. Larne away at the start of February, today's opponents of course, a 3-0 victory with Crawford and a brace from Luca Cannell. A 6-0 win away at Carrick Rangers, Lindley with a hat-trick, Idart, Wilson and Daly with one apiece. A 3-0 win against Institute in the Irish Cup 6th round, Doyle, Falconer and Elliott with second half goals. And a 4-1 win at home to Portadown, again most of the action in the second half. An early goal from Lindley and then second half strikes from Lindley again in stoppage time. Wilson and Idar made it a comfortable day at the office. So we face Larne today, just Finley Robertson missing for us. They're missing Fanthorpe and Spencer Cook, who they got in from Crusaders. Two really good young players. So they are signing the best of the rest, but they're not keeping them fit, and that's going to be a concern. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that. We are trying to get in some players on free agent deals with their contracts expiring. We are trying to improve things off the pitch. So we're doing the youth facilities again, £4 million going into that. The data analysis facilities. I tried to get a coaching course, but it didn't work. There is a potential rumour of a takeover though, which is why I'm trying to do things early. Potential investor coming in, we'll keep an eye on that. But the bank balance looks beautiful, 42 million. And we've got to make sure we keep that there for our successor. And that might be the other interesting thing actually. We're working in a different way. If our successor comes in and they've got a £20 million budget, what are they going to do with it? I'd love to know how they're going to spend it. So that's something we'll keep an eye out for as well. It could be a big summer here at Cliftonville. And ironically, it could all happen when we leave the club. We'll wait and see. But if we go and get into our fixtures today, it is Larne in the Bet McLean League Cup final. Finley Robertson struggling as we mentioned, Nico Williams back and McCarran nowhere near fit. We're odds-on favourites. We have won 22 out of 25 games against Larne. I didn't realise they'd never beaten us in any competition. Solitude sold out. Of course, our home ground, so the neutral advantage there for us. And we've got our first 11 available, although I've just clicked Harvey Elliott out. So there we go. This is the squad and a lineup for today. It's Gavin Bazunu in goal. It's Williams and Lyons the fullbacks with Wood and Harwood Bellis as centre-half. Doyle and Kane in midfield, Elliott and Cannell on the wings, and Crawford and Falconer together up front. So we know from that team actually, bar Doyle and Harwood Bellis, they're all signed on for next year. So it'll only be if they choose to sell them that they'll go. On the bench, we've got the likes of Idart, we've got Branthwaite, we've got game changers, Lindley as well I guess. But we are missing Robertson. So Sammy Wilson, the sub centre mid, he is improving, he's now up to 2-star ability, but he's not quite the same level as the others. So that's the lineup. This is the game against our biggest rivals at this level now. So can we get the result against Larne? Or can their good first 11 shock the history books? Let's go and find out. Well, I'm a little bit surprised by this lineup for Larne. They've got Sykes and Lyons in the middle. That doesn't shock me. Robbie Hassan's in. They've got some good centre-halves in. Kofi Bauman not in the squad. They haven't got Ronan Hale in the squad. Despite Thompson coming in nowhere near match fit, Parkhouse is up there as well. Welsh is on the bench. He's surely good enough. He started nearly every game this year. I don't understand. They're playing a rotated side by the looks of it. So we're going to tell the lads to pick up where they left off, as Larne tried desperately not to win a trophy. Let's see if they can compete. We'll get through the tunnel interview. We know what we want from our team. I'm just a little bit puzzled, so let's go and see what happens in the first half. We've got a throw in early on with Nico Williams on the right. Throws into Crawford. Cuts inside, and he's got lots of time on the ball, but not really many options. So he finds Kane, who switches it well. Nico Williams on the right byline. Beats his man into Falconer, headed away as far as Kane. The referee's signalling like for an advantage there. I'm not quite sure why, but it does not matter. Harvey Elliott on the volley. I mean, the technique of that is sensational. I know I was sidetracked. Kane delivers a whip ball on the angle. And Elliott, left-footed volley, opens up his body and gets it into the top far corner. It's the opposite angle you'd expect from a left footer, but it is sublime. 1-0 with 15 minutes gone, but that advantage signal still got me. And Harvey Elliott, the goal scorer, is now injured. He's one of the best players at the club, so I'm going to be worried if that's a big one. But we have got a like-for-like replacement. Tom Lindley really improving, a good player. Now 3-star ability, and he'll come on for the rest of the final. Let's see if we can keep our lead. Well, just over 10 minutes to half-time. It's not really been an action-packed match, but we have got a free kick here with Connor Crawford. He scored a few of these, and that one's just wide of the near post. Beat the wall, but also beat the post. It's dominance in terms of the stats. You can see that there. Clear-cut chances, none though. So we're not creating the best openings in the world, and we've relied on a wonderful strike to get it. At half-time, we're worried about the injury to Elliott, and we're of course worried that it's only 1-0. If you don't take your chances in these games, you could always come back to regret it. So we're going to tell the lads to prove a point. We're going to get straight back into the second half. And of course, our former striker, Thompson, we know he's a goal scorer. He's not fit and he's on a yellow card. But if he gets that ball on the edge of the box, we'd fancy him. As Lindley picks it up on the edge for us. His shot's blocked to Parkhouse. A Sandown field. Woods missed it and here is Thompson. 30 yards out. Inside to Sykes. Parkhouse intercepted by Harwood Bellis, was that the centre half? And Lindley back to mop up. Excellent defending. But Larne, they've got that threat. You can see they can compete in some areas. But they're just playing a bit defensively here. It's very strange. As Lindley picks it up, he's got Williams overlapping. He's looking for him down the line. Instead goes to Kane, 25 yards out. Can shoot from here. And it's just wide at a post. It had the keeper scrambling, but it wasn't quite close enough. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Still 1-0 Cliftonville. And we've got a throw on the left-hand side again. As Tommy Doyle's got the warning, he's on a yellow card. And Mark Lyons picks it up. Advanced position. Switches the play, but Baines clears. Only as far as Harwood Bellis on halfway. And they just can't get out, Larne. They're missing that width. As Williams comes down the line. His cross is blocked to Parkhouse. He's got a man chasing him in Doyle, so he goes back to Baines. Baines long downfield. And Wood wins the header. Out to Jake Kane. He finds Cannell, had a very quiet game and his rating reflects it, but this time he gets to the edge of the box, back to Jake Kane, to Mark Lyons, to Kane again, playing down this left but no final product yet, and we're still playing 1-2s as Kane comes in, to Cannell, into the box, crosses right footed, Lindley's there, and it hits the crossbar, looped over the keeper, but he couldn't quite find the back of the net. Nearly an hour on the clock, and we just need that second. We need to shore this game up. As Cannell goes down the line, beats the sliding challenge, brought down in the box by Brad Lyons. And our former player is having a horror show against us. A wild challenge, a wild trip. And Connor Crawford, from the spot, to wrap up the League Cup final. Here he comes, right-footed, sends the keeper the wrong way. And Connor Crawford with his 43rd goal of the season in February. 11 in the Champions League, 4 in the All-Ireland Champions Cup, 25 in the Danske Bank Premiership, his second in the League Cup and 1 in the Shield. What a season for Connor Crawford. A superb player, still improving, and he's probably just won us another trophy. Always been a big game player, but now we've got more headaches. Nico Williams, was it the last episode? I said he's not had anywhere near the injury problems this year. And it's coming back to bite me on the backside. So I'm going to bring Branthwaite on and put Wood to right back because he's lost a few headers today. Just to give us a slightly different perspective there. We're going to leave the last change 10 more just in case we get another injury. But I'm really worried about those two. That could be a legacy from this game. As Branthwaite, the sub, picks it up at centre half. Plays a 1-2 with Harwood Bellis and finds Lindley on the right. He's got an overlap from Nathan Wood but instead comes inside. He's got 2 over on the left if he wants to find them. Lindley still going alone though. Down the line to Cannell. Won that penalty in a poor performance otherwise. And finds Mark Lyons. He cuts it back to Kane. Switches the play to the right hand side. Wood flicks on for Lindley. And his shot straight at McKee. It's an easy effort to save. Probably should have done better there. Just over 20 to go. We will make the last change after this free kick. But we've got to see if Connor Crawford can produce another special. As here he steps up, slightly wider angle, just wide of the post again. It remains 2-0 to Cliftonville. We're going to take Tommy Doyle off. He's on a yellow. He's not had the best game actually, to be fair. So we're going to bring on Sammy Wilson. He can be a box-to-box midfielder. And it's just nice to get another youth product on. I know it means that we miss out a little bit. Noah Daly doesn't get on. But one of our own true youth players is getting a chance. And that's what matters. As Kane finds the sub Wilson. Out to Wood on the right. Cuts into the area. He's got no real pressure on him. Gets it to the back post. Cannell's there. And the man we nearly took off is the man who scores. He got the penalty and now he's scored another. It is 3-0 to Cliftonville and Larne falling away. And those players in them lineups that aren't match fit and they haven't got the best options on the bench, that's where the problem comes. A poor squad selection from Larne and it's going to harm them here. As McKeown goes long downfield. Harwood Bellis wins a header. Jake Kane in the challenge with Sykes. Met his match there. Sykes comes away with it. 25 yards. It's a great ball through. I think Kearney was offside. He was. But creativity there from Sykes, the big January signing. 10 minutes remaining. It's still 3-0. And it's going to be a League Cup victory again for Cliftonville. As Mark Lyons throws it in on the left to Cannell. Scored that goal, of course, but loses possession here. Owens gets it downfield to Kearney. Sykes to Brad Lyons, who conceded the penalty, our former player, into Kearney again. Goes back into midfield to Owens, switches right to Bradley. He's at the byline here, crosses in, Harwood Bellis away, and Linley hoofs forward. It's going to find Faulkner to Cannell. Faulkner's had a really quiet game actually, as Cannell goes up to Crawford. Great first touch. To Nathan Wood, into the box again. Cross block to Linley, to Wood, to Crawford, to Wood again, to Faulkner. And it's blocked, it's pinball, and it eventually goes away. And we're back with Sammy Wilson, 30 yards out. To Wood, into the box. 2 headers away, but it is relentless pressure. They are camped in our final third. And as 4 minutes of stoppage time come about, I do not know how it wasn't 4. But the final whistle goes, Bazunu lifts the trophy, the red and white suit for the penultimate time hopefully is out on that podium. And it is a wonderful 3-0 victory for Cliftonville, and Larne never really had a sniff. The lads are gaining confidence, it was a wonderful performance, and we've got lots of positive news coming from the boardroom. A 3rd trophy of the season after the Shield and the All-Ireland Champions Cup. Of course we're hoping to add the Irish Cup, and we will add the title at some point to that. But we've got these 2 big injuries to worry about. So let's have a look through half a covered eye. Is it going to be good? Nico Williams, 6 to 7 weeks. Oh dear. Harvey Elliott, 6 to 9 days. That's not too bad. I kind of wish they were the other way round, to be honest. But it is what it is. The Nico Williams injuries are back. And this time he's our problem to deal with. £15,000. Elementary, the domestic money now. The amount coming in from Europe has meant that we haven't got to worry. We'll deal with the press conference off camera. Medals going out. We're getting our spirit praised. We've been fantastic, of course. 3 League Cup victories in a row. Nathan Wood getting praise. He's been fantastic as well. And both the Northern Ireland and England bosses are there watching loads of our players. And a couple of Larnes, to be fair. So that's a really good sign for this league. The collective payout is half the amount, so we barely even keep that income. And the review says that the biggest overachievers were Anna United. But all that matters to us is that we were champions. So it's going to be a very interesting run-in for us. We're going to wrap up the title in the next few days. We know that. We've got a cup quarter-final against lower league opposition. But the likes of Larne, Dungannon, Coleraine and Ballymena all still left in. So there are still some challenges ahead. As well as lower league opposition in Crusaders and Newry. Crusaders now made their way to the top of the championship. They will be back in the Premiership next year. And I think Institute will probably win their playoff as well. Because it looks like they're by far and away the best 2 sides in the league. So interesting times to come, hopefully a cup final to follow as well. We will be back at the end of the season. It will either be the final league game or it will be the Irish Cup final. Will it be 4 or 5 trophies? And how will this club shape up moving into the summer? We'll do as much work as we can to prepare this football club, but we're relying on a new manager with a big budget, with big players to take this club and this country further. So if you did enjoy this episode and that brilliant cup final victory against Larne, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily Football Manager content, including from FM21 as soon as the beta releases. We've got loads of plans announced. You can find them in the eye above. And there's a vote over on the community page as well for our long-term live stream once the full game releases in 2 or 3 weeks' time. I've also done a matchday vlog for the podcast channel. It was a solo one last weekend due to the recurrent restrictions, but I got a live matchday vlog from EFL Football. So hopefully you'll check that one out. That's in the eye above too. Not the best game in the world and very strange to be in a stadium with no surroundings and no acoustics. But it was good to see live professional football, I've got to say that much. But we've got 2 more episodes to come from Cliftonville, hopefully the final one of the season tomorrow, and then a 5 years in the future look to see how this country gets on once we leave. I'll be really interested. I'm not quite sure which way it's going to go. I've got a sneaky suspicion there might be a fire sale, but I'm crossing my fingers that 20 million of transfer budget gets spent wisely. But I hope to see you for the next 2 and then for FM21. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.